Did you know that people in Japan's blue zones live decades longer than the average American? And one of their secrets is avoiding certain meats that most of us eat every single day. If you're over 60, what you're eating for dinner tonight could be silently stealing years from your life. And the scary part? The meat industry doesn't want you to know which ones. Today, we're exposing 4 types of meat that could be putting your heart, your brain, and your independence at serious risk. Stay with me, because number 3 is sitting in refrigerators across America right now. Now, if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you've probably noticed that your body doesn't process food the way it used to. Maybe your energy isn't what it was. Perhaps your doctor has mentioned your cholesterol or blood pressure. Or maybe you've just been feeling heavier, slower, more tired. Here's what most people don't realize. After 60, your digestive system, your heart, and your kidneys all become more sensitive to certain proteins and compounds found in specific types of meat. What was harmless in your 40s can become dangerous in your 60s and 70s. In Okinawa, Japan, where people routinely live past 100, elders follow what they call hara hachi bu, eating until they're 80% full. But it's not just how much they eat, it's what they avoid. And researchers from the Harvard School of Public Health have spent decades studying why certain populations outlive us by 15, 20, even 25 years. Today we're going to walk through 4 types of meat that science and traditional wisdom both agree. If you're over 60, these should come off your plate for good. Before we dive in, let me be clear. This isn't about vilifying all meat. Protein is essential, especially as we age. Our muscles need it. Our bones need it. But where that protein comes from matters more than most doctors will tell you. The 4 meats we're about to discuss all share something in common. They contain compounds, preservatives, or fat structures that put extra strain on aging organs. And after 60, your body simply can't handle that strain the way it used to. So let's get into it. The first meat you need to eliminate immediately? Processed deli meats, things like ham, salami, bologna, turkey slices from the deli counter, and yes, even those low-fat options. Now, I know this is tough to hear. A turkey sandwich seems so innocent, right? It's what we've been eating for decades. But here's what's happening inside your body every time you eat processed meat. According to a landmark study published in the British Medical Journal, eating just 50 grams of processed meat per day, that's about 2 slices of deli ham, increases your risk of heart disease by 42%. For those over 60, that risk jumps even higher. But it gets worse. The World Health Organization officially classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen. That puts them in the same category as smoking. Researchers at Harvard found that people who ate processed meat regularly had a 20% higher risk of early death compared to those who avoided it. Here's why this matters more for you if you're over 60. First, sodium nitrates. These are preservatives added to keep deli meats pink and fresh-looking. But in your body, they convert into compounds called nitrosamines, which damage your blood vessels and have been directly linked to stomach cancer and colorectal cancer. After 60, your kidneys struggle more to filter out these toxins. Second, the sodium content. A single serving of deli turkey can contain 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium. If you're eating a sandwich with 2 or 3 slices, you're getting nearly half your daily limit in one meal. For seniors, this leads to high blood pressure, water retention, and puts massive strain on your heart. Third, the inflammatory response. Processed meats trigger inflammation throughout your entire body. And inflammation is the root cause of nearly every age-related disease: arthritis, dementia, heart disease, diabetes. Your body is already fighting inflammation as you age. Why add fuel to the fire? In blue zones, regions where people live the longest, you'll almost never see processed meats. In Sardinia, Italy, centenarians eat fresh, simply prepared proteins. In Costa Rica's Nicoya Peninsula, elders stick to beans, fresh fish, and small amounts of naturally raised meat. They don't have a word for deli meat in their vocabulary, and they're outliving us by decades. If you're over 60 and you're still buying cold cuts, it's time to stop. Replace that deli turkey with grilled chicken breast you prepare yourself. Swap the ham for smoked salmon or canned tuna. Your heart, your brain, and your gut will thank you. The second meat to avoid: factory-farmed red meat, beef, pork, and lamb that comes from industrial farms where animals are grain-fed, confined, and treated with hormones and antibiotics. Now, I'm not saying you can never eat red meat again, but the quality and quantity matter enormously, especially after 60. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that people who ate red meat more than twice a week had significantly higher levels of TMAO, a compound produced in your gut that damages your arteries and dramatically increases heart attack risk. Another study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed over 500,000 people for 16 years. The results? Those who ate the most red meat had a 26% higher risk of dying early from heart disease. But here's what shocked researchers. When they looked at people over 65, that risk was even higher. Why? Because your digestive system slows down. Your stomach produces less acid. Your liver and kidneys work less efficiently. That means toxins, hormones, and inflammatory compounds from meat stay in your system longer. Not all red meat is created equal. Grass-fed, pasture-raised beef contains healthy omega-3 fats and antioxidants. But factory-farmed meat? It's a completely different animal, literally. Factory-farmed beef is pumped full of growth hormones to make cattle grow faster. These hormones don't disappear when you cook the meat. They enter your body and disrupt your endocrine system, which controls everything from your mood to your metabolism to your bone density. Then there are the antibiotics. Factory farms give animals antibiotics to prevent disease in overcrowded conditions. When you eat that meat, those antibiotics kill off good bacteria in your gut, bacteria you desperately need for digestion, immunity, and even mental clarity. And here's the kicker. Factory-farmed red meat is loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which promote inflammation. Meanwhile, it's almost completely lacking in omega-3s, which fight inflammation. In Mongolia, where elders remain active into their 80s and 90s, they eat meat from free-roaming, grass-fed animals. In the Mediterranean, where people have some of the lowest rates of heart disease in the world, red meat is eaten sparingly, maybe once a week, and always from local, pasture-raised sources. The Okinawans, who live longer than almost anyone on Earth, eat red meat maybe once a month and only at celebrations. If you're over 60, limit red meat to once or twice a month, and when you do eat it, make it grass-fed and organic. Better yet, replace it with wild-caught fish, which gives you protein without the inflammatory baggage. Now, before we get to dangerous meat number 3, which is probably in your fridge right now, let me ask you this. Which of these meats have you been eating regularly, and which one surprised you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single one and I love hearing from you. And if you're finding this helpful, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss future videos. We're building a community of people who refuse to age the way society expects us to. All right, let's keep going. Dangerous meat number 3. Farmed fish, especially tilapia and farmed salmon. Dangerous meat number 3 is going to surprise a lot of people. Farmed fish, particularly tilapia and farmed salmon. Now, I know your doctor probably told you to eat more fish, and you should. Fish is loaded with protein and omega-3 fatty acids that protect your brain and heart. But there's a massive difference between wild-caught fish and fish raised on factory farms. A study from Johns Hopkins University found that farmed salmon contains 10 times more toxic pollutants than wild salmon. We're talking about PCBs, dioxins, and pesticides, all of which accumulate in fatty tissue and have been linked to cancer, memory loss, and immune system damage. Tilapia, which is one of the most popular farm fish in America, is even worse. Researchers at Wake Forest University found that tilapia has an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio that's worse than bacon. Yes, you heard that right. Tilapia is more inflammatory than bacon. And here's the part that should really concern you if you're over 60. These inflammatory omega-6 fats worsen arthritis, increase dementia risk, and make your blood vessels stiff and narrow. Farmed fish are raised in overcrowded underwater pens where disease spreads quickly. To keep them alive, farmers dose the water with antibiotics and chemicals. The fish are fed grain-based pellets, often containing GMO corn and soy, which is completely unnatural for fish and makes their fat unhealthy. Then there's the dye. Farmed salmon are naturally gray, not pink. So farmers add synthetic coloring to their feed to make the fish look like wild salmon. That dye is absorbed into the fish's flesh and then into your body. In Ikaria, Greece, another blue zone where people regularly live past 100, elders eat fresh fish caught that morning from the Aegean Sea. In Okinawa, they eat small, wild-caught fish that are low on the food chain and free from heavy metals. You won't find them eating tilapia from a farm in China or salmon raised in a crowded pen in Chile. If you're over 60, avoid farmed fish entirely. Stick to wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, and anchovies. Yes, they cost more, but your brain and heart are worth it. And if your budget is tight, canned wild-caught salmon and sardines are affordable, shelf-stable, and incredibly nutritious. The fourth and final dangerous meat isn't a specific type of meat. It's about how the meat is cooked, specifically charred and heavily grilled meats. Now, I know this one stings. We all love a good barbecue, but if you're over 60, that charred steak or blackened chicken could be doing serious damage. When meat is cooked at high temperatures, especially over an open flame, it forms compounds called heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These are potent carcinogens. A study from the National Cancer Institute found that people who regularly ate well-done, charred meat had a 60% higher risk of pancreatic cancer. Another study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry showed that HCAs damage DNA and accelerate aging at the cellular level. And here's what matters for those of us over 60. As you age, your body's ability to detoxify these compounds weakens. Your liver doesn't work as efficiently. Your cells can't repair DNA damage as quickly. So the HCAs and PAHs from that grilled burger do more harm to you than they would to someone in their 30s. These compounds also create something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. And AGEs do exactly what they sound like. They make you age faster. They stiffen your arteries, cloud your brain, wrinkle your skin, and weaken your bones. A study from Mount Sinai School of Medicine found that people who ate a diet high in AGEs had higher levels of inflammation and oxidative stress, both major drivers of heart disease, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. In Japan, elders cook their fish by steaming, poaching, or lightly grilling over low heat. In the Mediterranean, meat is often stewed slowly with vegetables, herbs, and olive oil. You'll rarely see a centenarian eating a blackened steak or charred ribs. They understand, whether through science or intuition, that how you cook your food is just as important as what you cook. If you're over 60, avoid charring your meat. Cook at lower temperatures. Marinate your meat in olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs. Studies show this reduces HCA formation by up to 90%. Choose steaming, baking, slow cooking, or gentle sautéing over grilling or frying. Now, before we wrap up, a quick word. I always encourage you to talk to your doctor before making major changes to your diet, especially if you have existing health conditions or are on medication. What I'm sharing here is based on research and traditional wisdom, but everyone's body is different. Work with a healthcare provider you trust to figure out what's best for your unique situation. All right, let's do a quick recap. If you're over 60, these are the 4 dangerous meats you should avoid. Number 1, processed deli meats. They're loaded with sodium, nitrates, and inflammatory compounds that damage your heart, kidneys, and gut. Replace them with fresh, home-cooked proteins. Number 2, factory-farmed red meat. The hormones, antibiotics, and inflammatory fats put massive stress on your aging body. If you eat red meat, make it grass-fed and limit it to once or twice a month. Number 3, farmed fish, especially tilapia and farmed salmon. They're full of toxins, antibiotics, and inflammatory omega-6 fats. Stick to wild-caught fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Number 4, charred and heavily grilled meats. The carcinogens formed at high heat accelerate aging and increase cancer risk. Cook low and slow and always marinate your meat. These aren't small changes. I get it. But here's the truth. The centenarians in blue zones aren't eating these meats. And they're not just living longer, they're living better. They're active, sharp, and independent well into their 90s and beyond. You can have that too. It starts with what you put on your plate. Look, I know that changing your diet can feel overwhelming. Maybe you've been eating these meats your whole life. Maybe they're part of your family traditions or weekly routines. But here's what I want you to remember. Every single meal is a chance to choose health. Every single bite is either feeding disease or fighting it. And you have more power than you think. In Okinawa, they have a saying, "Nuchi Gusui." It means food is medicine. The elders there don't see food as just fuel. They see it as the foundation of a long, vibrant life. You're not too old to make a change. You're not too far gone. Your body is incredibly resilient, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Give it the right fuel, and it will reward you with more energy, clearer thinking, less pain, and more years to spend with the people you love. So here's my challenge to you. Pick just one of these 4 meats and eliminate it this week. Start there, build momentum, and watch what happens. If this video helped you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone over 50 who needs to hear it. We're building a movement of people who refuse to age the way society expects. Drop a comment and let me know, which meat are you cutting out first? I'll be down there reading and responding. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. And remember, you're never too old to become the healthiest version of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.